Authored by James Howard Kunstler via Kunstler.com. Worms turning, and so now along comes Andy McCabe, former number 2 at the FBI, publicizing his new book, The Threat: How the FBI Protects America in the Age of Terror. And Trump, on this Sunday CBS 60 Minutes show, confirming what I said on this blog 2 years ago, that the deep state would try to run over the Golden Golem of Greatness with the 25th Amendment. The specter of Mr. Trump, entrained by the nuclear football, the briefcase with launch codes for World War III, gave U.S. intel communitarians such a case of the heebie-jeebies that they first sought desperately to impede his election by unlawful means, and, failing in that, concocted a fog of Russian collusion conspiracy to cover up all that and much more nastiness emanating from the Hillary Clinton orbit. It's been the opinion here at CFN that Mr. McCabe and a long list of DOJ, FBI, and Intel employees would eventually be summoned to grand juries on charges ranging from lying to their internal affairs colleagues all the way to sedition. Those worms now seem to be turning. Both House and Senate committees investigating the Russia narrative declared that they turned up no evidence for it. And late this week, William Barr was confirmed as a new Attorney General, meaning the extreme case of bureaucratic constipation in that department may be resolving in a shitstorm of counter-revelations and prosecutions in what amounted to an attempted coup d'etat. A lot of the evidence for that is already public and overwhelming. It includes using FBI counterintelligence assets improperly and illegally, using fabricated opposition research provided by Mrs. Clinton to obtain warrants to spy on her election opponent, and failing to verify it as evidence, according to strict Woods procedures submitted to FISA court judges. Recruiting Britain's MI6 to spy on U.S. citizens as a workaround from U.S. laws prohibiting U.S. intel from spying on Americans. Setting up the notorious Trump Tower meeting to entrap Donald Trump Jr., using a Russian lawyer, Natalia Veselnitskaya, in the employ of Fusion GPS, Mrs. Clinton's Oppo research contractor, orchestrating leaks of secret FBI proceedings to the news media to feed a Russia collusion hysteria. Malicious prosecutions by special counsel Robert Mueller and egregious political conflicts of interest among Mr. Mueller's team of prosecutors. Cover-up of the Uranium One scheme facilitated by Robert Mueller and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. A scheme to surreptitiously and illegally record conversations with Mr. Trump once he became president. Conspiring to bury multiple inquiries into illegal conduct of Mrs. Clinton, her employees and associates by failing to obtain evidence and allowing it to be destroyed. Misconduct in office by former CIA Chief John Brennan, former National Security Director James Clapper, former AG Loretta Lynch, and members of President Obama's White House inner circle. These matters and a lot more have deserved official attention that was bypassed during the peculiar DOJ regime of former AG Jeff Sessions, and now some light may be about to shine on them. The Trump resistance already seems demoralized by the collapse of the Russia collusion story, which had been the centerpiece of their impeachment hopes. Several reconstituted House committees under the new Democratic Party chairs have pledged to keep mining that vein of fool's gold to keep the hysteria alive long enough for the 2020 elections. But what will happen in the meantime as their enablers are dragged into courts of law to answer for their roguery? My guess is that it will drive the resistance to new depths of delusion and, eventually, derision, as its narrative cloak gets shredded in public testimony and their audacious mendacity is revealed. The heat from these future events may be so intense and disruptive that it will interfere with the 2020 election.